and the ACA. We have time for about 5 questions. If you provide your email address, I will answer all the questions offline if we don't have time to answer them during this session. The first question is, I am a proactive employer. Are there any benefits of being in compliance aside from avoiding penalties? Well, I think it's important to report. I think employees are going to have that expectation because they're going to have an individual mandate that they have to meet, and they have to show that they've either been provided benefits, affordable benefits, or they have to go purchase their own benefits. So I think from an HR perspective, I think it's important for employers to figure out what they need to do, how they need to do it in terms of reporting, and then to report. The second question is, I'm a small business owner. We have 21 full-time employees and 30 independent contractors. We're growing over the next year. Are there benefits in turning my contractors into full-time employees, or is it better to keep them as contractors and avoid all of this? Does any of this apply to me? Well, if you have independent contractors, they're not subject to the mandate. It's only full-time employees or full-time equivalent employees, and a full-time equivalent is anybody that works full-time or anybody that works 30 hours or more in a week or 130 hours in a month. So the independent contractors are not part of that equation in terms of the employer mandate. The next question is, will any changes in legislation help or hurt me in 2016? We talked about this a little bit at the beginning of the session, and I don't think, again, that there will be major changes. I think we will continue to have a marketplace. I think that there won't be any discussion of repealing the ACA. There are too many people that are enrolled. I think there could be changes to how employers, some of the employer mandate provisions and some of the administrative things that employers have to do. But I don't, especially after the Supreme Court ruling, I think the ACA is here to stay, regardless of who takes office in the White House, whether that be a Republican president or a new Democratic president. The next question is, we're going into an election year. Is it better to wait to see if the ACA is overturned? Well, as I just mentioned, we had a challenge by the Republicans, and the Supreme Court ruled that the ACA was legal. So I don't see, again, any major changes. I don't see a repeal effort. I think it's hunkering down and trying to figure out how to operate as an employer within the new political and legislative environment as a result of the ACA. Last question is, I had more than 50 full-time employees, but I've reduced many to part-time, and I laid off others in slower seasons. Does the ACA compliance apply to me? If you had more than 51 full-time equivalents, and that is adding up the hours for variable hours, part-time hours, full-time hours, based on working an average of 30 hours a week or 130 hours a month, then you would have a compliance obligation. If not, then you can choose to purchase health benefits as you do now as a small employer under 50 employees, or you can choose to direct your employees to a healthcare marketplace that offers both what's called on or off exchange or public or private health insurance, but you're not mandated to provide benefits or pay for benefits if you're under 50 employees. I want to thank you for your time today. We're offering a 10% discount off of our reporting and report and monitoring service to any participant in today's webinar, sponsored by Breakaway Funding. You should be able to download copies of both the 1094-C and 1095-C IRS forms in the session today. And you can also receive a copy of our tax advisor, Chris Condalusi's most recent Capitol Hill ACA policy report. If you would like to learn more about how Forte can help you, please contact me at info@forte-aca.com or call me at 844-537-2100. I'm now going to turn it back over to Kim from Breakaway Funding. Thank you, Kim, putting on this webinar today.
Well, thank you so much, Aaron. We really appreciate your presentation today on ACA compliance for employers. Well, we hope you have enjoyed the presentation. And just to recap a few of today's messages, ACA compliance, it is the law. You will either pay or play. Either way, it's going to cost you. There are many elements of a compliance plan, so please check with Aaron if you have any additional questions. You will file annually your compliance on Form 1094-C, and failure to comply will result in penalties. As is our practice, we would like your feedback. Therefore, we will be sending you a webinar survey, so we appreciate your effort to get this back to us. We will also be sending you the post-webinar link of today's session so you may review it at your leisure. We invite you to other upcoming events, including November 11th, Crowdfunding for Banks. This webinar is being presented by Compliance Online. Please see them for registration. Then next month, November the 19th, please join us back here for Getting Your Act Together, featuring Coy Dang and Justin Santa Rosa of Horgan, Rosen, Beckman, and Corin. And then on December 9th, once again being offered by Compliance Online, Financial Statements, Reporting, and Modeling by yours truly, Kim Casleonis. Thank you so much for joining us today. As a reminder, if you are a business owner or an entrepreneur seeking to raise capital, I invite you to give us a call at 844-871-3400. Again, that's 844-871-3400, or send me an email at kcasleonis@breakawayfunding.com. We look forward to seeing you here again next month. Thanks so much for joining us.